Here EMF, already we earlier studied that whenever a flux linked with a coil changes, then an EMF is induced. And we have studied this one, magnetic flux is BA cos theta. So what will be the change in magnetic flux? Either by changing magnetic field, so dB into A cos theta, or by changing area associated with the magnetic field, or by changing angle between the plane and the magnetic field. Also we have studied the Faraday's law of electromagnetic induction. That is, induced EMF is proportional to rate of change of flux, and the direction of induced EMF is such that it opposes the cause which produced it. But here we will discuss the inducing EMF due to motion of a conductor. Here see, though this diagram I have taken from the NCERT book, it needs a correction. Purposely I have taken that we will see the later on. So come first to understand the motional EMF. Let us see here. Here a conductor PQ moving left side with velocity v in the magnetic field, and it is the U-shaped wire placed in the magnetic field, and its resistance is negligible. U-shaped loop, resistance of U-shaped loop, but this PQ having certain specific resistance. First, here see the length x of the loop now inside the magnetic field. Its area, obviously we can say x into L, its area, and magnetic field is B. So flux linked with this one is BA here cos theta, and the plane is we are taking along the direction of the field, so that is B into Lx, magnetic flux linked at any time with this one. It will not induce an EMF unless and until either B change or A change or its angle change. So now here we are changing the area now. According to Faraday's law of EMI, the induced EMF is E equal to minus dB by d phi by dt. So it will be minus d by dt B L into x, that is the area. So here what we can say, its length is fixed. Only what is changing, when this rod will move this side, x will change. So what we can write, this will be minus BL dx by dt. See, as it moves towards left, here we are taking, what is dx by dt? Dx by dt is the velocity. Since x is decreasing, when this rod will move towards this field, x is decreasing. Then in maths it will come increasing and decreasing function. Then dx by dt will also decrease. And what is dx by dt? That is velocity. So here we are taking minus v. So minus v representing decrease in velocity. So this we can write magnitude E equal to BLV. It is the magnitude of the induced EMF. This EMF is called motional EMF, and its direction, once again, it will be decided by Fleming's right hand rule, which already earlier we have discussed. Now here see, understand the same motional EMF from the Lorentz force. And here the comparison between the diagram given in textbook and what correction that needs, you will understand. First, this rod is moving, so it is the perpendicular to the magnetic field. And we know the Lorentz magnetic force, that is QV cross B. Here, this rod having free electrons. Here the free electrons. So that free electrons sitting on the rod also moving with velocity V. So first here Q is minus E. Velocity here we are taking along the negative x. So that is V minus I cap. Magnetic field is into the plane, so it is minus K cap. Now what will be the Lorentz force? Magnetic force will be minus EVB minus J cap. So magnetic force will be on electron will be along J cap direction. So what happens? The electron will come here at this end. So this end will be more negative. When this end will be the more negative, obviously Q end will be positive polarity. So there's an electric field is set up. That is, the direction of electric field will be Q to P. Now see, the conventional current is taken from positive to negative. So direction of current in the loop will be Q, R, S, P. But see, that's, I hope so, that our textbook needs a correction there. And now here see, the force exerted on the electron by this electric field. Once again, what is here the electric field? Electric field equal to force per unit charge. Force per unit charge, here charge is electron. So what we can say, force on electron is minus E cap, and electric field is along this Q to P, so that is the J cap direction. So free electrons now here, what will be this one? E minus J cap. Now the electron, see, electron moves in the direction of field or opposite to the direction of field. So this electron here will experience a force along this direction, and means here the polarity that will continue at the both end P and Q unless and until the magnetic force and electrostatic force on electron will be equal. After that, no movement of here, this experiencing of the force, then the polarity becomes the constant. Then what we can say, magnetic force is EVB is equal to here the electric force, that is EE. Now this E and this E, which is the charge of electron, that will cancelled out. So VB equal to E. And also you can recap velocity selector, BC equal to E. And now E is known. So what is the potential difference between PQ? So potential difference between Q and P, V equal to E into L. Earlier we have studied this one, V equal to E into D. D is the distance. Here distance between Q and P is L. So in place of D, L will come. So V equal to E into L, and now E equal to VB. So what will be the expression? V equal to velocity into magnetic field into length of the rod. Thus we can say EMF produced is BLV. And here the direction how can be? The direction here, the force, when the rod is moving rod, then we use the Fleming's left hand rule, which also we have discussed earlier. Now see this another very important problem. Here is a metallic rod of length r is rotated with angular velocity frequency omega radian per second, with one end is hinged at center. So this end P end is free to rotate, and the other end at the circumference of a circular metallic ring of radius r meter about an axis passing through the center and perpendicular to the plane of ring. A uniform magnetic field B is present everywhere. What is the EMF between the center and the metallic ring? You might have seen in some of the bicycle a dynamo is attached, especially the people who used to ride bicycle at night. They use a dynamo for the light due to rotation of the spokes and here the rim. See, it's the solution. As the rod rotates, free electron in the rod move towards outer end, as earlier we have seen, and get distributed over the ring. The magnitude of EMF generated across, if we take here a length, a small length of the rod dr which is moving with velocity v, this rod dv, or we can say a small portion. Then what will be the induced EMF? That will be what is earlier just we have seen, induced EMF equal to BLV. It is the motional EMF, BLV. Here L we are taking a small length, that is the dr, so induced EMF will be D equal to BV dr. So the total EMF we have to add such dr. Total EMF is summation or integration of this EMF and the dr that can be taken from 0 to this r. What is we know v equal to linear velocity equal to angular velocity into radius. So that is v equal to omega r, and on differentiation here r dr, it will be, if we integrate, it will be r square by 2. So here induced EMF is b omega r square by 2. If we take its length L, then it will be b omega L square by 2. This is known as rotational EMF. Rotational EMF. Now, a question here for the practice. Note down this one. A wheel with 10 metallic spokes, each 0.5 meter long, is rotated with a speed of 120 revolution per minute in a plane normal to the horizontal component of the Earth's magnetic field at that place. Horizontal component of Earth's magnetic field at that place is 0.4 Gauss. What is the induced EMF between the axle and the rim of the wheel? And we are knowing 1 Gauss equal to 10 to the power minus 4 tesla. This you have to do. Now we will come the query portion.